Nasomi is restrictive when it comes to the add-ons that are allowed on the server, but there may be a few that you missed because they aren't pre-configured with the installer. One of those is the frame rate divisor. The game by default is at 30 frames a second, but if you type /FPS1, it'll set the frame rate to 60, which is way smoother. I'm not sure if it's going to come through in this YouTube video, but believe me, it's nice. Also, if you're using a controller, it makes your map screen move twice as fast. I've heard this can make some cutscenes freeze, and if that happens, press print screen to unfreeze it. Next is draw distance set world, and the amount that I've been using is 20. I don't know if there's a cap, but I read online someone else was using 20, so why not? There's also a draw distance for the mobs. This doesn't change the actual distance that they render, it just changes the quality of the render at the distance. So you can see me toggling it here. It really doesn't seem to do that much, but why not use it? Up next is recast. Type /addon load recast to get the timers on your screen for all your spells and job abilities. Now the default position for the timer isn't very good, and you can shift click to drag it around your screen every single time you launch the game if you want, or you can dive into your install directory, go into the scripts, addons, recast folder, and edit the recast.lua and change the default position of the recast timers. I keep mine at 500. So these add-ons are great, but having to load and configure them every time you launch the game is not great. So here's how you get around that. In the install directory, go to ashita scripts folder and open the default text file. And in this text file, you can go down to where it says load common add-ons and add in /addon load recast. And then below that you can see set common settings, and you can add in your draw distance and FPS settings. And now your game will launch pre-configured. Speaking of the scripts folder, did you know that Ashita can execute macros written on text files within that folder? You can also make subfolders to better organize your macros in case maybe you have multiple characters or you would rather organize it by job, which I prefer. So here you can see my warrior folder with an all gear macro. This is nice because for some reason on Nasomi it won't put the gears that you previously had on back on if you change jobs, like it did in retail. So you can make a macro like this to change all your gears with one single macro. I know it's sort of a lame replacement for gear swap. Gear swap is obviously much better, but it's not allowed on Nasomi, so we'll have to work with this. Well, that's all I got. I hope it helps. Thanks for watching.